Hi there, it's Zoe from Woolly Cactus Designs, and today I will be showing you how to crochet a sock, or socks there, but we'll start off with one sock. So this here is our very easy crew sock pattern. So this is an ankle sock built or crocheted to size. Essentially all you'll need is about 100 grams of yarn, so one skein of sock yarn, which runs about 100 to 115 grams of fingering weight yarn. I'm using a merino and nylon blend just so it has a longer durability. And as a hook, you'll probably need something between a 3 and a 3.5 millimeter hook. For those of you who crochet tightly, I suggest grabbing something a size up. And for those of you who go loose, a size down, so a 3 mil. So we're going to start off with our 3.5 millimeter hook. I'm starting off with that. You can start off with a 3 since I know I crochet tightly. My hook is pretty banged up since my dog likes chewing on it. And so we're going to first start off with doing a chain of 18. So the pattern will be linked down below. It has 3 sizes, so a small, medium, large. I'm doing the large, which calls for a chain of 18 to start with. So I'm going to yarn, so I'm going to create my chain of 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See, that one's too tight. You're going to want to keep a same tension between your stitches. See, that 13th one was too tight, so we just want to keep something fairly loose for a chain since we will be hooking into the back of it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. It's early morning here. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So we have a chain of 18. From here, it says round 1 on the right side, working in the back ridge of chains, single crochet in second chain from hook and in each chain across to the last chain, single crochet 3 in the last chain, working in both remaining loops of beginning of chain. Oh boy, lots of chains. So essentially the pattern says that we need to work our stitches in the back of the chain. So you see here, these are the V's. This is where we usually push our hook through in our first foundation row. This is the front. We're going to flip it over to the back side. So you can see the back side has, if I tilt it a bit, you see it has these links, these ridges linking together all the stitches. That's where we're going to insert our hook. So we're not going to insert it into the 18th, but in the 17th stitch. It's not that first bump there, but that second one right there. So we're going to insert into the back. So this here is a tricky and takes time to do it properly. So in the back of the chain, we're going to single crochet. So that's 1. 1. See that loop here? That's the second one. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of hard manual labor to get these correctly, but once you do, you'll notice that we're going to be working in an oval and not a rectangle. So that's 2. So I'm going to insert into this pink one here in the back. 3. There we go. So the next one here, see, if you look at the front, the V's are here and we're working in the back. So I'm going to be inserting into this pink one here. So we insert our hook into the bump and we single crochet. Alright, so I'm going to do the rest off camera, but the idea is to insert our hook into that back bump. Just the back bump. So we're just, it's not easy because I'm on camera and doing this from a really odd angle. There we go. So we're going to do this like that. Alright, so I'm going to do the rest off camera and I'll meet you at the before last stitch. So as the instructions say, we need to single crochet into the back of all these stitches until the before last one. So I will see you in a couple of seconds. Alright, so here I am. I have one last stitch to do, and that's where we're going to do our 3 increase. So if you've managed to crochet into the back of each chain, you should have now 16 stitches. And now we're going to do our increase of 3. So we're going to do 3 single crochets in this last stitch right here. So we're going to insert our hook. I'm going to insert our hook, there we go, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, that's 1. Insert in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, that's 2, and we're going to do one last time for 3. So insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and there we go. So that's our third chain, our third single crochet in that same stitch. So that's an increase. We increased of 2, and now we're set up to finish our row. So we're working in an oval, and now the pattern says to working in both remaining loops of beginning chain, so the top here, single crochet in the next 15 chains. Okay, so the next one, the first one we're going to do is not where the knot is, but in this one right here. So the first one of the row, so we're going to insert underneath both branches of the V like we usually do, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1. And 2. 3. They're a bit tight since we've already crocheted in the back of them. So take your time. Let me zoom out just a bit. 4. 5. 6. 7. 'Oh my goodness, you see I even struggle with this because it's not big. Using fingering weight yarn, it's a very tricky weight yarn since it's so small and you have to get used to it. I'm not a very very fine person, so I don't have very fine fingers, which doesn't help when it's very small and finicky. Now I lost count of where I was at, so we'll count after. We'll keep going. Okay, so I'll do the rest off camera, and I'll meet you at the end once we've done 14 stitches. Alright, so here we are at the almost end of our round 1. So we know we've done our 3 single crochet increase at the end here, and then we started our new row from the top of the chain. So we did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and now the pattern says 15 single crochet and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So I have one more to do to make 15, so I'm going to insert my hook in that 15th chain stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, there we go. And now we're going to have to add 2 in the last stitch, and this one is a bit tricky since we spun it around, but you see that little tiny one right here before it starts turning? That's where we're going to increase. So we're going to stick our hook, we're going to insert our hook right there in that little tiny space, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in that space and then a second one, so that's an increase of 2 of 1, and there we go. And now we have officially finished round 1. And it says, do not join place marker to indicate beginning of round. Okay, so we're done our first round. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a stitch marker. Now, you can have any type of stitch marker you want. You can have the plastic ones, you can have the ring ones, the clip-on ones. They're great, but I prefer using a piece of scrap yarn, especially in something this tight and this small, because using a plastic one sometimes stretches out the stitches, and that's not what you want. So what I do is, before even creating my next stitch, I just like place the piece of yarn beneath the strand of working yarn, and it's just going to indicate where the row starts and ends. And now let me zoom out just a bit. So you see I'm just folding it in, and I'm just going to stitch over it, and you'll be able to slip it out after, but it's just a way to indicate your place without stretching too much your fabric. Okay, so round 2 says single crochet in the next 17 stitches, and then 3 single crochet in the next stitch, repeat from star once more. So anything that's in between a star and asterisk in the pattern needs to be repeated, so that whole sequence. So we're going to start off with 17 single crochets. So I'm going to zoom back in. We're going to insert our hook in that first stitch right here. And we're going to single crochet 1. And then we're going to keep on going till we do 17. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 'We can see here that's our 15, 16, and 17. Alright, so if you look closely, our increase will be done in the top of the middle of the increase of the previous row. Okay, so last row we did 3 stitches in one chain or one stitch. So our 17th was in the first one of that 3, and then our increase will be on the top middle part. So, and if you were to look at it lengthwise, the increase will always be right at the center middle. So we're gonna do 3 single crochet into the next stitch. So in that 18th stitch, we're gonna do 1 single crochet, insert in the same stitch, 2 single crochet, and insert in the same stitch, 3 single crochet. So there's our increase. And now we're going to repeat this. So we're going to do 17 single crochets followed by an increase. Alright, so in our next stitch we go, oh, watch that you're not crocheting your tail end. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go 1, 2, let me just zoom out, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, 16, 17, and now in our last stitch we're going to increase. So if you look at where we put our stitch marker, it's underneath the first one, and so we still have one stitch to go, and that's where we're going to do our increase of 3. So that's where we're going to do 3 single crochets into the next stitch. So we insert 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So there we go, we have round 2 done. So if you've noticed, we're just working in an oval now. This is curly Q, but that's okay. So our foundation chain is jammed right in the middle, and we worked our way around, and we're just going around and around and around. And so our increase points will always be at each side in order to create a toe shape. So we're starting with the toes first. So now we're done round 2. We're going to start round 3. And round 3, to set it up, so we're going to remove our marker from where we had it last. We're going to place it gently between the current stitch and our future first stitch. So I'm just going to flop it over like that. And now I'm going to start row 3. So row 3, we need to do pattern size single crochet in the next 18 stitches, then an increase of 3 in the next stitch, single crochet 19, a 3, and then 1. Okay, so let me just adjust it. Here we go. So we're going to start off with 18 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, let me grab some more yarn. 17, and now 18. Perfect. So after our 18th stitch, we're going to do a 3 single crochet into the next stitch. So in the 19th stitch of your row, which would end up being at the top or at the point of where it's going to turn around, we're going to do our 3 single crochet at, see, I split my yarn. Don't you love it when your yarn splits? There we go. Sometimes it just takes a bit of tender love and care to get that back in. Okay, so we're going to do a increase into the 19th stitch, so this stitch here. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, come on, focus, and 3. There we go. We got 3 in that one there, so that's our increase. And now we're going to start second part of the row. Grab some yarn. Now it says to single crochet 19 and then do an increase of 3. Okay, so in the next stitch, here we go, we're going to do 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, don't split your yarn, 5, 7, 8, 9, oops, sorry, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, sorry, please excuse the momentary problem. Yarn knots. Okay. Where was I at? Oh boy. So it's 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, ooh, 19. Okay, I accidentally removed my stitch marker. That can also happen. But we still had 2 more to go before we got to the beginning of the row. So we did 19, and now we have to do 3 single crochet into the next stitch here. So this one right here, we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Now the pattern calls for 1 single crochet into the next stitch. And so we're going to insert our hook, 1 single crochet, and that's it. That's the end of row 3. So let me grab my disappearing stitch marker and momentarily pause the video to be able to undo the big knot of yarn that I have now stuck in. See, this is one thing, you really want to make sure that your yarn is nice and unknotted. Okay, there we go. Before you start working on anything. So that was the end of row 3. Now we're going to start row 4. So slip in your stitch marker or hook it on. Having issues on a Monday morning. Today's Monday, by the way, people. I hope you guys are having a good Monday or whatever day of the week it is when you're watching this. But Mondays for me are always a bit hard to start, especially with a very little amount of caffeine in my body. Okay, so row 4. Row 4 says single crochet in each of the 19 stitches, and then single crochet in the next, single crochet in the next 15, no, 21, 3, and then 2. Okay. Okay, so let's start row 4. So row 4 says 19 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 19. And now once we've done 19, we do 3 single crochets into the next stitch. So right here in the 20th one, so we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do 21 stitches into the next single, not 21 in the next one, but 21 for until we reach the other end. Until we reach the other end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh. You're in splits like that. Make sure you keep, yeah, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ah! Pause, pause, pause. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties with our background. I don't even know where I was at. Okay, let me count. So we did a 3, or increase of 3 here. Sometimes this happens to you too, you forget where you're at. So that was 3 there in the greens, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Okay, perfect. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. So now it says once you get to 21, you do 3 single crochet into the next stitch, and then you do 2 single crochets in the following 2 stitches, and that would end our round 4. So let's do this. So we do a 3 single crochet into the next stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, followed by 2 single crochets. So 1, and then 2. Perfect. So this is the end of round 4, and now we're off to round 5, our last increased row before we start making the foot. So we're just going to remove our stitch, place it underneath the current, or well, place it so that the first stitch of the next row will be right on top of it. Beep, 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 beep. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Starting round 5, our last increase row. So round 5 is we're going to single crochet in the next 20 stitches, increase of 3 in the next stitch on the 21st, and then we're going to single crochet 23 single, and then increase, and then followed by 3 single crochets. Okay, so here we go. Let's start row 5. So we're going to do 20 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We're going to do a 3 single crochet in the next stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. And then followed by 23 stitches until we reach the other point. So here we go, focus, focus, focus. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, and now we're going to do a increase into the next stitch. So we're going to go 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and 3 single crochet in the same stitch, followed by 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. We've reached our marker, and this marks the end of round 5. Alright, so here we go. We've done the toe increase for our sock. This should fit just about over your toes. As the pattern says, there is going to be a certain negative ease, so this will be a bit smaller than your actual toe length or width. This is because this will end up stretching out once you wear it a bit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in each and every one of the single crochet, or each and every stitch. So it should be 52 across all the way around, and you're just going to end up making a tube. And so, yep, the next rows, so the next part of the pattern, for the foot part, it says single crochet in each stitch around until the piece measures 20.5 centimeters from the beginning chain, or 5 centimeters less than the desired length. And so we are going to insert our hook into 1, 2 single crochet, and then all the way around until you have a nice tube that fits pretty much just before your heel. Alright, so I will see you once we have a toe tube, a foot tube. Alright, see you in a bit.